Um, I'm Armstrong Williams. It is Thursday, February 25th. This is a teachable moment for President Barack Obama. Mr. President, why are you regurgitating healthcare again? What is it that you don't understand? The American people does not want it. You're penalizing small business owners by forcing us to pay for it, whether we can afford it or not. It's demanding. There's no freedom in this for us. You're trying to slick your way to reintroduce the public option. We already have a public option in the name of Medicare. Employers are going to lay people off work. They're already suffering. What are you doing to tackle these insurance companies that exploit people, take advantage of them? I mean, how much pork do you really have in the bill, Mr. President? You know what it's like, Mr. President? I'm going to tell you what it's like. The problem is with health care and what you're proposing. It's just so big. It's so huge. No one can really get their arms around it. They know exactly what they're getting. An example is, let's say you and I go to the grocery store and I buy peanut butter. I buy apples. I buy tortitos. I buy cookies, ice cream, oranges, lettuce, icicles, ice cream. And just say I put it all in the blender, Mr. President. No one has any idea of what my concoction will taste like until we taste it. That's what healthcare is like. Nobody will ever know exactly what we're getting until everything has been put in there by you, Mr. President. It doesn't work. I mean, individually, what you say, it makes sense. Insurance may make sense to you. Public option may make sense to you. Doing something for seniors may make sense to you. Doing something for these kids who end up paying. They drop out of the pool of healthcare because the economy is tough. And so you got to find somebody to subsidize these seniors. These things individually may make sense. Forcing business owners to pay for insurance for people who cannot afford it. Individually, these things make sense to you. Doesn't make necessarily make sense to us. But Mr. President, it's just not working. I mean, how can you and your cohorts be so arrogant and so statist to just totally disregard the will of the people? You're just totally ignoring them as if you don't understand who we are. I've said this before. We are not your kind of people. You have no regard for who we are and what we want. People want to talk about jobs, and then you had Congress pass a ridiculous job creation bill yesterday, to give somebody a $5,000 tax credit for hiring. Mr. President, nobody in their right mind is going to hire somebody just because you give them a $5,000 tax credit. Mr. President, you hire people because you have a void to fulfill. You have a need for some area of expertise or some service. Now look, some people are going to take the money, but that money should be going, because what you're doing, you're taking money from the private sector and giving it to the public sector, Mr. President. That's part of the problem with the health care. Mr. President, even this job creation bill, I don't understand it. I mean, I don't know where this thinking is coming from. I don't know how you guys come up with these crazy ideas, but they're not going to work. It's not going to work. The job creation bill is not going to work, Mr. President. Mr. President, look, I know you inherited a mess. I know your heart is in the right place. You really want to leave a legacy. You want to be the big bad wolf to get health care through, unlike the 7 past presidents. Mr. President, it's not going to work. You're using unnecessary political capital. Let it go, Mr. President. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. I'm Armstrong Williams.